Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and we at CNMG continue to celebrate our women. And of course, we want to say a special GMTT good morning to a lady who I have admired for a number of years. And it's a pleasure for me to say good morning, a special GMTT good morning to Marcia Miranda.
Good morning, and thank you very much, Ian. Well, it is my privilege and pleasure to be here this morning, especially at this very exciting time in Trinidad and Tobago when we're celebrating International Women's Day and week, and we have a new president, and all sorts of wonderful things going on for us.
A lot of wonderful things,
I'm
lot
excited.
of wonderful things. But how did you celebrate International Women's Day?
Well, I went to, we had some friends of mine and myself, we had a meeting, we had a little forum talking about what we want to do, what we want to do for young girls, because we have a little group that we help young women. And that's what we did that day, kind of brainstormed on where we're going to next for these young women. So that took up most of my day. Mm-hmm.
And that's so good to hear, because a lot of our young women need guidance, they need good advice. We have seen a lot of things happening to our young ladies today.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, it is a very exciting time, as I said, International Women's Day, and the theme is hashtag, of course, push for progress. And so we continue. I mean, last week was a big week, but we will not stop. We will continue, because we have to continue pushing the message for the young millennial, of course, right? I think there are a lot of things that we need to tell our young girls, young women, and the older women as well. And one of my mantras, one of the things that we talk about in our group is something called TRNPC. And it's all about, the T stands for training people how to treat you. And we say people because we mean men and women. Training your men how to treat you, training women how to treat you. The R stands for raising your standards, elevating your standards, and accepting nothing less than what you know you deserve, you know, for yourself. And then, of course, the N is when you want to say no, you know you want to say no, say no. All right? We're not powerless. Ladies, we're not powerless by any means. We have choices, and those choices are what will bring us the consequences that will create a future for ourselves.
You mentioned something about men knowing how to treat women. Do you think women still know how to treat women? You know, a simple thing like opening a door for a lady. When last would you have seen that? You know, a man open a door, let the lady pass.
I've seen it. I've seen it. There are men who out there who are trained, well trained, and they are doing it. And you know, as I said, you know, we have to train people how to treat us. And if I tell you this is what I expect, well, you know, you will do it. You know, because you know it will make me happy. You know, and then you will feel good. Because, you know, I mean, it's kind of, you know, goodness is a kind of a selfish act, because when you do something good for somebody, who feels better? Don't you feel better?
Exactly,
yes.
Exactly. And that's exactly what the Bible said too, you know. But in your career as a singer, as a Calypsonian, a soca artist, how was it for you in a male-dominated industry?
Okay, I have to admit that, yes, I know that there are colleagues of mine in the fraternity that, you know, probably encounter barriers and so on. But personally, I did not, because I think that I developed a method of when I recognized that something was not working for me and I was not welcome in something and it wasn't going the way I wanted it, I would shift, right? So I shifted until I found the genre and the place that I wanted to be, which was in soca parang, because I kind of grew up in Christmas. I love Christmas and that sort of thing. So I just naturally found myself in it, and then I became happy. So I really cannot speak to having to fight up. You know, I remember though I was I was in a couple tents for some years. And that was kind of not too nice because in the tent,
you know,
they kind of sideline us, the women. You know, they bench us, as they say. You know, they bench us many times. You know, but all in all, it hasn't been too difficult. I wouldn't say it's been too difficult. And I mean, if we look at what's going on outside now in the Calypso arena and the soca arena, I mean, women seem to be doing pretty well.
Very well, and in fact, dominating, because when you look at the Marcia, we have either equal amount of women or even more women Calypsonians than men. So it's been a good improvement.
And not only that, yeah, the content, you know, and the sweetness
yes, the
of
sweetness.
music, you know. So, you know, I think we're doing well. Yeah, we have achieved quite a lot. We are accomplishing quite a lot as in our fraternity, in the cultural fraternity as women.
And apart from the culture, you know, in different other areas, as you mentioned, that we now have a first female president of this country. How do you feel about that?
Wow. Again, if you want to put it this way, this is like another huge shattering of the glass ceiling for us as women here in Trinidad and Tobago. Paula May Weeks, I truly admire and I congratulate her totally. Women lead differently. Women lead with compassion and empathy. Women lead with open-mindedness and inclusion. And, well, maybe that's not the general way that all women may lead, right? But I think here in Trinidad, a lot of the leaders that I know, whether it be politics, in the boardroom, you know, even in the classroom, you got young girls in the classroom, that's how I see them operating, you know. So I think we're onto something, and I think we're going to get some extraordinary gains for these young women coming up with Paula May Weeks as our president in Trinidad and Tobago.
That is so nice to hear, because we already had our female prime minister and now a president. Just to top it off.
That's what I was telling you about the glass ceiling. It just keeps being shattered.
Now, how can we empower our young ladies who are coming up and seeing things in the news? Like, for instance, we just had a recent, a tragic incident in La Brea, where a lady, because she told a guy, no, I'm not interested, what happened to her? She was murdered. How can we empower women?
Besides what I mentioned a while ago, you know, about the TRNPC, you know, the fact that we need to demand respect from people. We have to know our value. We must know your worth and your value. The other thing is violence against women. Women are not the perpetrators. We are not the violators. We are the victims, right? So therefore, when you talk about violence against women, it's not a woman's fault. It's not our problem. The problem is on the men. The men need to learn how to deal, with all due respect to the ones who know how to do it. There are quite a lot of men in our country who need to learn how to deal with rejection and insecurities, you know, and not take it out on the woman in your life, the woman who wants to love you and take care of you and wants to trust you, probably trust you,
True.
you know. So these are the things that we have to tell our young women, you know, believe in yourself. Yes, we all want to have a wonderful man in our lives, you know, but you have to look out for the red flags, and they are there, right? And as women too, you know, like, you know, the mature women like myself, you know, and others, you know, we who have been through it, you know, because let me tell you something here. If you go into a room, right, and I hope I'm not breaking a trust issue here with women, but if you go into a room with other women, let's say 10 women, and you start to talk about violence against women, or you start to talk about abuse or anything, bet your life at least 8 out of those 10 women have been through some form of abuse.